Okay, so today we're going to do a quick walk around on the new weld trailer that we built for $1,250. We had a goal of $1,000, but we went a little over. So basically what this is a 5x8 trailer, 3,500 pound capacity. And we found a set of toolboxes that were pretty roached out. We repaired them and then stacked a utility cap on top. Sounds pretty simple, but this thing works amazing. So we're gonna go over a couple of features of the trailer today on why this works for me. Might not work for everybody. All right, so part of the reason we built this trailer specifically for what I need is, one, I didn't have the money to go out and buy a new trailer. I don't think a lot of you guys do. I am just a small weld repair, just getting started. I have a 2012 Tahoe. So this is perfect. It's not too heavy. You don't need a huge truck. You can pretty much haul this with anything. But what we did is we took a 3,500 pound 5x8 trailer, pretty much stock, and we added some toolboxes to the top. I think they're 24 by 12. They were pretty bad, but we picked them up for like $150 on Facebook. They had some extra expanded steel and angle on them. All we did is replace the floor. We went to the local dollar store and got some carpet, and we painted the inside. Now on the truck cap, not everything's perfect. The shocks don't work, and it is what it is. It's a form and function trailer. But I wanted a place to put all my measuring tools that weren't in a box where I had to dig through everything and find them. Half the time things get damaged. So we got some magnetic strips from Harbor Freight, very inexpensive. Hang that stuff. Put some carpet in the bottom. Basically, we just have a measuring section. We have a section down below for tools, clamps, helmets. We have our weld manipulator here in case we do any kind of pipe work. Basic tools for welding. Grinders, Dynafile, and then we always keep fresh wheels, grinding wheels, flapper wheels, Dynabraid belts. These are things you're going to run out on site. You want to make sure you just keep them stocked up. So what we wanted was plenty of storage space, but more as a display than digging through my weld box or digging through my instrument box. We'll show you a picture when we took the original 5x8 trailer out on a site. It got everything there, but it was miserable. Even though we are builders, fabricators, you're going to find out you're going to run into having to do some woodwork. You're going to have to pull an electrical line out. You're going to have a lot of tools. And if you're traveling, let's face it, it's going to break down. Something's going to happen. So we have all of our mechanic tools in the top. A little bit of electrical tools, some sanding and finishing, whatever you want to put in here. But the point is you can organize all your tools. Everything is on display. And you don't have to dig through a box. So for me, this works great. One of the other things that I was concerned about when I go on a job site, just like you guys, you go to McDonald's, it takes 45 minutes to get your lunch, and you're late, you can't eat. We got propane. Just get yourself a little grill. Halfway through the day, you're getting hungry, throw a pack of hot dogs on for the guys. Nice warm lunch helps. So that being said, we needed some propane tanks. Basically, all we did was we welded a tube between the frame on the front A-frame, sorry. And then we put some expanded steel down, piece of angle iron that we cut with the shape of the propane tank, did a couple of chain links so that we can strap them down individually. And then one thing that I really wanted was outriggers. So on the front of the trailer, what we did is just use the receiver tube. I drilled a piece of 2x2. When you get to site, you can drop that down, put your trailer securely on the ground. That way you don't have to worry about it falling over or worry about the jack. The other thing is you can put your propane tanks in. Obviously you're going to strap them down, but we wanted to have a little bit of extra securement just in case the trailer, God forbid, would flip over in travels to make sure somebody else didn't get hurt. So all we did is put a small bracket up here with a bolt. You're just going to take that same tube as your outrigger and utilize that as your hold down for your propane tanks. And I know this sounds crazy, but if you're on a site out in the middle of nowhere and you just so happen to need a piece of square tubing, well, you got one with you. And this trailer was built for convenience. One of the things is I always need straps. So we went, bought a jerry can, a couple 4-packs of straps. If I need 4 straps, I buy 12 because they always disappear. So the small things that you can do to make it convenient and make your day better are going to make you want to stay on site a little bit longer and get a couple extra things done. Okay, so when we got the trailer, it only has like a 4.5 foot tall ramp. So when it comes down, the approach angle is pretty steep. So what we decided to do is, if you want to come over and take a look, we just took a couple of inexpensive door hinges, like house door hinges, a piece of angle iron, and all of this expanded steel came off of the deal that we got for the side boxes. They were additional ladder racks, so we utilized those as material for the back. But basically all this is we put a hinged section on to the existing gate, and then what I did is I put some legs so that when this gate goes down, it can't collapse, because this cord will pull those legs out straight, and it just gives you a better approach angle. Now we just added a little handle on the side and one on the top here, so that when you put this down, we gain almost an additional 30 some inches, and it gives it a very good approach angle to put the welder or the generator in. And then by accident I found out that I don't need to take the welder out. I can just set it up as a platform, pull my welder out here onto the platform if it's somewhere I can get close enough to to the site, and then you have a nice little work area here. So I thought, well, I'm getting really tired of getting in and out of the trailer to get my cords, so we put a nice swing out cord reel, or cord holder. But the nice part was, when we pulled the welder out here, then I had a stand to actually make it a work area where I could just hang all of my tools directly on the rack, put it into position, and you have a nice little area to work here. So that then led to these brackets. These brackets here and here are not for this outrigger. This outrigger actually pulls out. You can lock that into place and crank it up to wherever you want to crank it up. But then we just took a vise and mounted it onto a little piece of 2x2. So now I can just drop that vise in there. You'll set your area up to where I have all my tools in this generalized area. I have a nice little workbench here. Use this. And then we'll just load up all of our tools that are right here at hand's reach. You can get a lot more work done, less time, you're going to make more money. And you don't have to chase your tools down. You know they're all right here. So what that does with this bracket, all it is 2 pieces of receiver tube put in there. This is actually pretty solid. And then what you can do is put your outrigger down, lower the front of the trailer, put the outrigger in until it touches, crank your jack up in the front, put the front outrigger on. Then you have a very sturdy area to put your vise, or depending on what you're doing, I have these mounts for everything. So now we can just throw the pipe bender in. So we need to bend something. Okay, and then after that I need to grind on it. Or say we have a ton of brackets that you need to cut. Say you got 30 brackets, you need to cut them. It's not worth doing it with a grinder. Another small piece with a pipe in it. I'll put that. And then I just made a small cage out of actually some old bed frame. Free on Facebook. Weld a piece of pipe to it. Drop the pipe in, now you have a nice table. You can just throw your chop saw and do what you need to do, set whatever angles you need to. You can also use this as a bed, so you can set something on it and use it if you have a long piece of pipe. The whole point of making a trailer is to make it as convenient as possible to do the job as best as you can. These small brackets make night and day difference. Being able to set up an actual full fab shop in a matter of about 3 minutes, you're going to be able to make a little more money than the average hodgepodge welder. So we did this so that we could get the extension cords accessible without having to crawl in. I'm 6'5". It doesn't work all the time. But what we did find out that this is pretty heavy once you add all the wires on it. So on this side, we just basically used a piece of 3/8 inch flat bar and did an angle so that when this comes in, it lifts and locks on. Now you've got the whole trailer loaded up at the end of the day. You're ready to go home. You did a good job. And you're 40 miles from the house and you got to listen to this gate rattle and bang around the whole way home. Yeah, we don't do that. So the best thing I found is you can take a piece of stock car tire and just put it in there so that when the gate goes up against, you have to give it a little shove to lock it, but absolutely no rattle. Same thing with the bottom. Just put a little bit of tension on it, bend your pin back. Now, when you're going home, everything's secure and you don't have to listen to that chaos. All right, so I wanted to show you how we attached all this. So we'll move this out of the way for now. Basically, we had the uprights on the 5x8 trailer, and we just added a piece above it, tall enough to get to the toolboxes. I didn't feel that that was very strong, so then we added another 2x2 square tubing, put a nice little dress on the bottom here to help that support the boxes. But I wanted to explain how we did these outriggers and why they're so important to me. Is we bought a piece of receiver tube on Amazon for like 12 bucks. It was like, I don't know, 12, 13 inches long. It already had the hole in it. Then we just got some 2x2 square tubing with a large washer on the bottom. And we drilled holes every, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches, whatever you want to do, so that you can adjust that height. But another good thing about this is if you just take a bolt, drill a hole in it, and you can put a lock through it. Now, if you're on site and you need to run to lunch and you don't want to disconnect everything and put the whole trailer away, what we found is you can just take this bolt and stick it through and make sure that it's onto the ground, and then nobody can steal your trailer because the outrigger's down. You can just lock that off. We also found that when you put the trailer up, the gate on the trailer up, and you put this through the outrigger once it's up, you can't get the gate open either. So just understand, a bolt with a hole in it and a lock save your tools quite a few times. All right, so you're on site, you got everything set up, you have your nice little work area here, now you need some power. Right now I'm using a Wen 1100 watt generator, and it's a propane and gas. The reason I prefer to use that is it seems safer for me to be using propane than gas on a site. But that thing sucks to take in and out. So what we did is we came to the front of the trailer and we basically just cut an access panel and put a lock on it. When I say put a lock, we ordered new locks for the whole trailer just so that all the doors have one key. We had an extra clasp. So all we do is reach in here, grab the propane, hook it up to the tanks. It's a little cold today, I'm sorry. And then you're gonna turn that on. We'll choke this. Setting that up. So the next thing we needed was a securement for the bottle. If you've watched any of the other videos, you know that there was the press that had the shelves on it, the red shelves that everybody commented on. If you haven't, go watch that. It's pretty cool. But what we did is we cut the shelves apart and we just welded them back together and created a chase so we could put the tank in it. Threw a piece of rubber in it. So now I can just put my tank in, And the nice part is when you get to site and you have this set up as a platform, you can just pull this out enough to take it off, put your regulator on it, use it, shove it back in, strap it back down, and off you go. All right, now the last thing that was super important to me, other than eating lunch without having to go to McDonald's, was to be able to put a tarping system up quickly. So all I did is took some 3/4 inch bars, some washers, a little piece of pin, some washers. What we did is we just welded a piece of pipe to the side of the trailer. Now we have, I think, 6 different setups to be able to put up a canopy. When I say put up a canopy, that's it. We're gonna drop that in, and because this is a 5x8, I bought a 10x12 canvas tarp, and when you put it in this side and you run diagonal on a 5x8, it gives you exactly 10 feet. So you can run a 10x12 tarp out at a 45-degree angle. If that doesn't work for you, you can come over to this side, run off the passenger side. If that doesn't work for you, we have another pin, and we can just put this here. You can put your platform up and run out the back. So no matter what, you're going to have shade, you're going to have protection from the elements. And you get that grill, so you can always have a heater too. So we had a couple of 5/8 inch solid rods, welded a chain link, and a washer on the end. That becomes your pin. Find yourself some generic, cheap tubing that you can just splice together. This came from like a pop-up canopy. You can just put this directly up. Now you have 15 different options to stay dry and warm. That's half the battle in this job. All right, so another issue that we had, and I know everybody else has the same issue, when you need as many hammers as we do in this field, I needed a hammer rack that was convenient and right there, because these things take up a whole entire box, and I can never find the one I needed. So we just did a little triangle, basically made out of 1x1 square tubing, and screwed it down. So while we're here, the bracket for the rear, all it was a 2x3 piece of tubing with a heavy angle on the bottom that we screwed down through, and I put an axle rod that I had off of something for the pivot. That has actually been proven to be an incredible tool. So we had spoke about the bender earlier. I had a lot of bending dies for my bender. So what I came up with is I cut the original bending die off that they give you with the Harbor Freight bender. I added a nice little piece of angle and some chain. So if you need it, you just pull this off. And now you have all your dies. They all have a designated spot. And then when you're done with them, you know that they're all back in their spot, and you put them back. Biggest thing with mobile welding, mobile fabrication is finding your tools. So this used to be a roof rack off of a Volkswagen Passat, whatever, I don't know what it was, but we cut it up, got it off of Facebook for like 20 bucks. We realized it has a nice plate there with a hole in it, so we went on Amazon and got some lights. We're going to mount that there so that you can hook up your propane or even your grill in the middle of the night if you have to be out. And then we also picked up some 360-degree Amazon floodlights. And what we're going to do is we're going to design them to where they sit here when closed. When it opens, we can adjust the lighting for wherever we need it via the door. So a couple upgrades we'd like to do, but overall the trailer's been amazing. And we just wanted to show you that you can build a trailer. Our goal was $1,000. I think we're into it for $1,250, but the functionality outweighs that $1,250.
Hey y'all, thank you for staying for the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and leave any comments below. We will certainly get back to you. And share this if you have anybody that may be interested in this kind of content. Thanks.